everyone, welcome to Fun Fold Friday. Today we're going to be making a 5x7 double Dutch fold card. This is the first one that I've made, and we're going to make another one together. This uses the this paper here is from the Most Wonderful Time as product medley, as are these little gold stars, which I love. And the rest of the papers are from Night Before Christmas, except for the cardstock, which is Whisper White 12x12 and Mossy Meadow for all the mats. But this, what's on the back of here and on the inside here, are from Night Before Christmas, which you've seen me use before. The stamp set that I'm using this time is the Shine Bright Cling Stamp Set that is in Stampin' Up's 2019 Holiday Catalog. It's number 150719 if you're interested. I will tell you there are not dies to cut this or the tree or the boughs. There are stamps only, any of this really. There are coordinating dies, but they are not designed to cut these things out, just so you know. And I will show you those dies on a future, probably live on Tuesday night. So how this works, well, I'll show you the dimensions and everything, but basically this will stand up on its own, and these little things will kind of come right to the edge. Now, I learned this from Mixed Up Craft, who is Sam, who's in the UK. She's a very talented paper crafter and card designer. So I think it was from a 2017 video, if I'm not mistaken, but you can see how it stands on its own. And I believe I've made something similar before, but in a smaller version. So it'll go flat in an envelope design for a 5x7 card this way. Let's see what else. And a piece on earth. What I did in here on this one is I stamped off the star in crushed curry, and then stamped it, and then I stamped full strength in Mossy Meadow, Peace on Earth, and I love that. And there's plenty of room to write a sentiment down here underneath, or even up here, as I left that blank. Now, I will say I don't have the Whisper White thick cardstock. I would have preferred to use that. So I used the regular, but honestly, with all the mats on here, with the Mossy Meadow, which is 80-pound weight, right, it makes it pretty sturdy because you've got 80-pound weight and then regular Whisper White in here as well, and then 80-pound weight on both sides of the flaps here to help hold it down, and then also 80-pound on the top. So it doesn't topple, it's nice and sturdy, and really there's even room if they wanted to. They could write on the back, but I'll stamp my name down here. So that's the first one, and we're going to make another one, and I'll go through the measurements. Oh, for this I used the layering ovals, and I have the older version, but there's a new number now for the new ones that are the same design. So this is the largest plain oval, and this is the second largest scalloped oval, and I stamped this with Versamark and heat embossed it with gold Stampin' Emboss powder, and of course used my embossing buddy and colored it in with dark Daffodil Delight. Actually, I was looking for a right color for a star, and I only used that color, and I left a little bit of white in the middle just to make it, I think, pop a little more. So that's what I did for that. So let me set that aside. We're going to make another one, and I wanted to go through the measurements with you. I've already got pieces cut, but I haven't glued them down. So what you need is a 10-inch, this is, well, roughly 10. I guess my cutting device is off, but it's supposed to be 10-inch by 11-inch. As your starting point here, okay? And then on the 10-inch side, you're going to score at 2.5, and actually I should do it this way, 2.5 and 7.5 going all the way down, okay? Then on the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 3.5 just to this first score line here. So let me sort of bend that a little so maybe you can see. That's the long score line we just did on the other one. And then you're going to do it on the same side over here. And then you're also going to score at 7 inches and all the way across. Okay, so now what you're going to do, these become your bottom flaps, which are here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is cut along this up here, because this, I don't know if you can see it, but this, there's a score line here. This becomes your top flap. This long piece is your inside mat, and then these are your bottom flaps. So we have to cut just inside the score line here. And I am going to have this on my blog, so, and hopefully by the time this video uploads, it'll be out there. So, and all my other live things are up to date now through last Monday's live. We did Monday instead of Tuesday last week. So I hope you'll check out my blog post. I'll have all the dimensions there as well. Okay. Let me just try and get this cut right. I'm cutting to the score line, but just a little bit on the inside of it. And I may have to clean that up a little bit, because you don't want that rough part of the score line showing. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so now let me get my scoring tool. We're going to fold this flap down. This is, well, let me tell you, it should be 5 inches. Yes, 5 inches by about 3 7/8 actually. And then this we're going to fold in, and this we're going to fold in. They will not exactly meet in the center, and that's okay, because they're going to help hold the center piece down, or help the card stand up, I guess is how I should say it. I'm just trying to make sure that that is down good. Okay, now for our mats. This time, I'm going to try this. These are the stitched nested label dies, and this is the tree that's in that same Shine Bright stamp set here. I stamped it in Mossy Meadow. I colored it in with dark and light Cherry Cobbler, because I don't have Mary Merlot, and light Mossy Meadow for the greens, bronze for the trunk. And I'm going to use another one of those little stars up here where that is, instead of coloring anything there. But first, we have to put our mats. And so, for the inside, you need a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. That's for this large mat here. And then, I just cut a piece of Whisper White to go on top of that, and I haven't decided yet what I want to put inside. I think I'm going to stamp the only sentiment on this one. I will go inside and it'll say Christmas begins with love. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that. And we're going to stamp it in Mary Merlot. And I also have this little flower out of the stamp set here, and I think I'll put that in each of the 4 corners. So let's see if we can do this. I hope you're all having a great Friday. Friday the 13th. Hug your little black cats. I've been sure to hug my little Callie a couple times today, even though she's black and white technically. Sorry if my hair is in the way. I think that turned out pretty good for me. And I'm going to clean my stamps right away. I'm kind of fanatical about that, because I've had some where I've had Versamark on, and you really need to clean them right away. And I'm going to go ahead and do the little flowers in the same color, except that I got some on the edges, and I don't want that. So just tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to do full strength, making sure I don't have them it would help if I stood up to do this actually, but I'm making sure I don't have it on the edges again. on the edges of the stamp because I don't want any lines. So I think I did okay. So let me put my ink away and we'll glue that down and get that on the inside. Put this out of the way. And I cut a piece. I did my mat in Night of Navy because we're going to be using some cardstock that has Night of Navy in it too. So, alrighty. You know, there's so many different ways to, once you figure out what design you want to use as far as the style of card, what takes me the longest is deciding what pattern papers and things I want to use. And honestly, I was thinking of doing one of these in not a Christmas one, but I have all my Christmas stuff out, so that's what I'm that's what I'm focused on, Christmas and fall right now. I'm going to just trim this a little bit. I see some rough edge over here. If I can get my scissors to cut a little bit. Just because I didn't cut right inside the score line like I had hoped on part of it. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and glue that down too. And I really like that inside actually, with the navy and the Mary Merlot. I think that is beautiful. And I have it a little more towards the bottom, and I did that intentionally this time. Okay, then on the outside here, what I did is I cut a piece of Night of Navy, and I have this tree pattern paper from the Night Before Christmas. Let me just see how this looks, because I really didn't even, I think that'll be all right. Maybe not my fave, but another thing you could do is just have another piece of Mary Merlot with the little trees cut out, or a piece of Mossy Meadow on there, but I like this, so I'm going to go with it. And then for the bottoms, what I thought I'd do, I actually really like that tree on its own. For the bottoms, I have Night of Navy again, and we're going to go with the trees like here. I have another one of those, and here. So it's mostly the trees, but the stands are down on this one. And then this will come down in the middle like this. And we may do a sentiment up here again too, so we'll see. All right, so let's assemble. And this mat here is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4, and this is 3.5 by 3.5 by 4.5, so it's a 1/4 inch in. I mean, we could go like that too. Either side would be good, but I want to go with the trees, I think. I'm in a tree kind of mood. Well, this has been some week, huh? We had 9/11 and we have the Friday the 13th, both in the same week. That's kind of bizarre. But obviously 9/11 certainly more important and valid, and sad, unfortunately. And yeah. Okay, so let's put our trees on. And these mats, the navy mats that I have going onto the flaps, are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, and these little pattern papers are 2 inch by 3 inch. So pretty easy to do, and you need 4 of those. But well, you don't need to do the inside, but I like to, so that when you open the flap, you have something pretty to look at besides just the big white piece, or whatever color that might be. You wouldn't have to have it be white, but Mary Merlot would be too dark to write on, as would navy. So yeah, I would always put either white or a light color like Seaside Spray would be okay if you wanted to matte that on a darker color. I do recommend having the base matte in there because it adds more sturdiness to the card, so it doesn't topple and things. And I do recommend, now this one is done with a Mary Merlot background, which is 80 pound. So I've got 80 pound on 80 pound plus designer paper on top of that. Let me make sure that's pretty straight. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then we'll open it up and we'll do the inside flaps. And we're just going to have more of the little lights. I was going to do this, but I don't like, I think I'd rather just have more of the little tree lights in here. And those were the pieces I had left from cutting the other pieces anyway, so it's all good, right? And it's all about the trees. So these are the same size as the other one. And Mixed Up Crafts instructions from her blog that was linked to her YouTube said you could either have 2 or 4 pieces like I just mentioned. You don't have to put anything on these inside flaps, but I prefer to. I just prefer to, and I'm not happy with that. There we go. Anyway, yesterday was a busy day for me. I had to finish updating my blog. I had so much to do. I worked on it most of the day Wednesday and into the night, and then I had about 2 or 3 more cards I had to finish yesterday morning, and then yesterday afternoon I had to go visit my mom, and then we had a she was in a resident council meeting when I got there, and I attended the last about 15 minutes of that. And then we went outside for a little while before the rain came, and then we had a care meeting to go over her care for the next quarter and any concerns she might have had. I don't know why that is a little crooked there. I'm not real pleased with that. Okay. And then this will go, now on the last one I put it really halfway down, and I think I'm going to make it only be like a 1/3 overhang instead and have this a little higher up. But first let me glue this down onto here. And I'm not popping it up or anything. I don't feel it really needs it here. If I put another sentiment on here, we will pop that up. And the little stars that I add will give it some dimension as well. Okay, that looks like straight. So I'm thinking like about there. So like right above those flowers, I will start putting the glue right about here. Okay. And then the rest will hang down. So it's a pretty easy card. It takes some preparation to cut the pieces and things. And you do need to have 12 by 12. I'm going to stand up just so I can try and get this on straight and at the place I want it. I think that's good. Yep. Yep. Okay, so let me see how that stands. I think that stands pretty well. That's what it'll look like. Okay. And let me get the little stars. Again, these are out of the Most Wonderful Time product medley, which I haven't used a whole lot yet, but I'm going to be out of stars before I get to the the time I can do it. Now there are some copper foiled stars that you can buy. Let's see if we can put that right in the middle of that star here actually, and just make it shine a little more. I think that's kind of cute. It might be a little crooked. Okay, now I'm gonna see, I think the holiday rhinestones have the color Night of Navy, so I'm gonna pull a few of these out in Night of Navy to put around that tree a little bit as well. I'm gonna just do, here's the stars. Don't want to lose the stars, and I want the little ones. Maybe just one here. And here. And one more. I think we'll put one down here because it's just too much white space there to me. I actually might put one here and one up here too. Using them up. I'm going to go a little off and then a little over here. Maybe here. No, maybe here. Okay, that's it. So those are from the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels in Night of Navy. And this is from the Most Wonderful Time product medley. And there's our 2 fun fold cards for Friday. I hope you enjoyed them. Tell me, and now, see, I really think maybe we need a sentiment up here somewhere. Like here or here, off to the side a little bit perhaps. So, let me put these stars away, and I think we're going to do that. I just feel like something's missing on that one. So, looking at the stamp set, if I can find it again. Okay, here it is. Maybe we'll put, we have Christmas Begins with Love on the inside. Joy to All, maybe. It's just a small sentiment. And let me see. Let me get a block. And I guess we'll put that on a piece of Whisper White. Let me find a small strip. Not too small because Deb can't stamp straight, you know. But that looks about right. Okay. All right. And I think I'm going to use Mary Merlot again. Something to help make it pop a little bit. And then I think we'll back it on. I don't know if we'll do a circle. Well, no, we can't do a circle. Let me stamp that again over here because I pushed a little too hard on that Joy. Just down and up. Much better. Much more happy with that. Okay. And I'm gonna just see if I have a strip of, well, I have a strip of Night of Navy. Since I backed everything else on Night of Navy, but I think I'd like it on Mary Merlot. So let me see if I have a strip of that. I do indeed. So in case you didn't know, Stampin' Up! Has the color families, like a pack of 2 sheets each of the cardstock in each of the colors in the color family. So this is the neutrals, which has Mary Merlot, Mossy Meadow, and Night of Navy. I'm now out of those colors except for these scraps in the 12 by 12. So, all right, this piece will do. Let me cut a bit off. And if you'll notice, guys, I didn't use any ribbon. I'm cutting a 3-inch piece. This is 3 inch by approximately 1 inch here. And so this should be no more than 2 3/4. Yeah, that'll work. By about a 1/2 inch. And I think I'm going to just flag this end on each. So let me get my triple banner punch out. I didn't mean for this to be a very long video, but you know, this is how I roll, it seems. And here we go. And just a reminder, if you'd like any of these products or any other Stampin' Up! Products, Nick's Crafty Corner is hosting a party right now for me, or having a workshop is another way to say that. If you would like anything, we would both greatly appreciate it if you'd order through Nick's party through my web store link, which is listed below this video and most all my other videos. So I'm going to put that like that, and then let's see, that's going to go, I think I'll put it right up here like that, or I like it on the other side better, like this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So what you do is you click on the link, and that takes you to my website through Stampin' Up, and then you click Shop Now. Although if you go to my website, please take a look at the calendar. The Stampin' Up just revamped the demonstrator business website, and they're wonderful. It looks so much nicer than the old ones. Actually, you know what, I'm going to bump this up on dimensionals. So much nicer than the old one. And I have updated my calendar with things that I do that pertain to Stampin' Up. So be sure to check that out. And I'm going to put a bunch on here because I don't want that to fall apart. So be sure to check that out, and then click Shop Now, and you'll be brought to the main Stampin' Up! Website. But it should say at the top when you do that, my name would be in the upper right corner, Deborah Houck. It's D-E-B-R-A. And it also show you are now shopping with Deb Houck, is what it'll say. And then when you put things in your cart and you go to check out, what you're going to do, I don't know if I like that there. Let's see. Maybe I like it better this way. Maybe I like it centered. No, I don't. I like it over here. I'm sorry, guys. Decisions, right? But now I feel like I need a few more of those blings. So anyway, when you go to check out, that's when you put in the host code down in the, I think it's still down in the bottom right corner of the cart. It'll say hostess code or host code, and that's where you would put the host code that's down below my video for Nick's Crafty Corner. And she'll get credit and hopefully be able to get some free products through the Stampin' Rewards program, which if you're interested in, let me know and we can talk about that. And I will also get credit for it as your demonstrator. So, and I get discounts and things being a demonstrator. So that's it, guys. And please do be sure to check out Nick's Crafty Corner. She's got some wonderful prizes. I'll try to remember to put a link to her prize video down below, and also to my introduction video, although I have changed the way the prizes I'm giving are going to work a little bit. I mentioned that in my live. I'll mention that again in my next Tuesday night live, and every time until the party is over at the end of September. And there may be someone having a party in October too, so stay tuned for that. But let's focus on Nick's for this month, okay? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Sorry for the long video. I will talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.